Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a great weekend so far. I thought I would sit down and talk to you guys about eyeshadow palettes. I wanted to film a purchase or pass video, but as I was kind of scrolling through all of the new product announcements, there were really just eyeshadow palettes everywhere. And I know a lot of you guys love chatting about palettes too. So there are actually like 9 or 10 palettes that I wanted to cover in today's video and just kind of share some pictures, some information. I'm going to let you guys know which ones I'm considering for my November palette. If you guys missed my haul video that went up on Thursday, I did purchase my October palette. I went with the Anastasia Carly palette and I'm still kind of testing it out. I'm wearing it today. I'm not sold on it. In fact, I really wasn't impressed by the quality of it the first time that I used it. Today was a little bit better, but I still don't love this eyeshadow look. I feel like I can create it with so many other palettes. So anyways, that is another topic for another day, but I think I have my November palette locked in, but there are a couple that I'm considering. So I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section below which palettes you guys think are interesting and fun, which one you would like for me to review on my channel. I always kind of take that into account as well. So let's jump into it and I'll talk about one that I kind of touched on in my last purchase or pass video. Okay, so when I filmed my purchase or pass video like a week and a half ago, Tati had just kind of announced Tati Beauty. She released her video, but it was like a behind the scenes look at her photo shoot. So we didn't have a ton of information. Since then, I've actually seen some reviews, I've seen swatches. So I'm actually filming this video on Friday and it's going to go up on Saturday. Tati is releasing her video today on Friday and the palette's actually going to be for sale. So if it's still available, if it hasn't sold out, I have a feeling it will sell out, but if not, I'll link it in the description box below. It's available for $48. I actually feel like that's a pretty fair price point. I was kind of surprised. I just had a feeling she was going to price it a little bit higher. I thought it might be more like luxury priced makeup, and I typically don't like to spend more than $50 on a palette. I actually don't know if I have. I did one time. I bought the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette, which I think was like maybe $65, and that was like a big splurge for me because I feel like, you know, $40, $50 is kind of my limit with palettes. So I was kind of pleasantly surprised to see that it was $48. I mean, $48 is still $48, but I think based on what we've seen, it looks like a pretty fair price point. And I think it looks pretty. I'm a big fan of monochromatic eyeshadow look. So I love that she did like this 6 tones in 4 different textures because it just makes it very easy. And if you tend to have a hard time with like creating eyeshadow looks, I think this will be really nice because not only are they mainly neutral tones, but she just laid them out in a way that they're very easy to use. So you can take the matte and blend it into the crease, the metallic all over the lid, and you're good to go. So I can't wait to use it. And I mean, it sounds like I'm already decided. I think I'm going to end up purchasing that one for November. There are a couple of other ones that I have my eye on, but I could always purchase the other ones for December. But either way, I would love to hear your thoughts on which palette you want to see. I probably will end up grabbing that one just because I do like Tati. I think the palette's going to be amazing and I'm just kind of curious about it. So this one's kind of interesting. Becca Cosmetics apparently has a new eyeshadow palette. I guess this was available during the summer at select locations. I didn't know about this. This is the first time I've actually seen it, but they have a new palette called the Pearl Glow eyeshadow palette and it retails for $58. You can get it online on their website, but I checked Sephora, so it doesn't look like it's available at any other locations, and I'm not sure if it will be, but the eyeshadow palettes that I've tried from them are good. I wouldn't say they're outstanding. I don't think they're anything like spectacular, but they're good. They're like reliable, and I don't know, this one looks a little bit more interesting than the majority of their other eyeshadow palette releases. I think the colors are pretty, and it kind of looks like there are some different textures going on. Okay, so I'm on the website and it says that it is a new formula that's buildable, lightweight, and they have a soft, radiant finish. There are 3 different finishes: pearlescent, luminous, and matte. So honestly, I'm kind of curious to see how this one would perform, but it is $58. I feel like that's just a little bit too much for me. I typically don't spend that much on a palette. And if it was a palette that really pulled me in, that I felt like was unique to my collection, that I just could not wait to buy, I might consider it, but I also feel like their eyeshadow formula, like I said, it's good, but it's not anything spectacular, so I personally won't be buying that one, but if you're a big Becca Cosmetics fan, then it could be interesting. Okay, so there is a drugstore palette that definitely caught my eye. I feel like the drugstore has been stepping it up across the board. I just filmed a video, or no, it was a few weeks ago, on the best new drugstore makeup, and I filmed a second one that's going up next week. I feel like I filmed a bunch of videos and I don't know when they're going live, but I've been testing out quite a few drugstore products, and so many of them are just as good, if not better, than high-end makeup. So when I saw this palette, I was so excited. This is the new Physicians Formula Rosé All Play eyeshadow palette. It says that it's available now in stores, but only at CVS. So I don't know if it's coming to other stores or if it will be available online. I kind of feel like it probably will, just because it's such a gorgeous palette. I can't imagine they would only release it exclusively at CVS, but maybe they did. I read a comment saying that it retails for $17.99. It kind of looks like there are some glittery shades, and it's hard to tell exactly what the texture is going to be like, but this definitely caught my eye. I feel like the drugstore eyeshadow palettes are a little bit pricier. Like $18 for a drugstore palette is kind of expensive, but I feel like because drugstore brands have been stepping up the quality, it's a little bit more justifiable. But I always say you can definitely find this brand on sale at the drugstore or on Ulta's website for like 50% off, buy one, get one half off. Like they have so many sales. So I always wait until I can get their products for a little bit more of an affordable price, just because they are more of an expensive drugstore brand. But that palette looks gorgeous, so it's one that I'm definitely considering. I'm sure we'll see more photos soon, and I would love to see swatches, but I think that I might actually stop inside my CVS to see if they have it, just so I can see what it looks like in person, because it looks gorgeous. So ColourPop has some new 9-pan eyeshadow palettes at Ulta Beauty, and these look pretty. They kind of seem to have like the same theme as the Bye Bye Birdie collection that was released last week, and these retail for $12 each. There are 3 palettes. The first one is Birds of Paradise, which looks like a warm-toned palette. Lovebird has some pretty pinks, and then Night Owl is more of like a golden toned, warm toned palette. I will not be buying these palettes. You guys know that I love ColourPop. I would love to like collect all of the ColourPop eyeshadow palettes, but I've really tried to move away from like this collecting mentality when it comes to makeup. I used to feel like if I loved a brand, like if I love ColourPop so much, then it was okay to like collect all of their palettes, or if I loved like a certain lipstick, it was okay to collect all of the colors, but I just don't see makeup that way anymore. I really try to be very selective, and as much as I love their eyeshadow palettes, I cannot purchase every single one. It doesn't make sense. I have one drawer dedicated to eyeshadow palettes, which is already pretty excessive, but I will not let my collection get bigger than that drawer. I actually need to declutter it. I really haven't added a lot of palettes to my collection this year. I mean, I purchased 12. I did get a few in the mail as PR, but even still, because I already had quite a few, that drawer is already getting a little bit full, which is kind of crazy, especially because I don't even know what it was like last year. No, I do. I actually had 2 drawers full of palettes, which is just too many. So I kind of let myself enjoy palettes because I do love them. That's why I let myself have a drawer full, which is still kind of excessive, but I feel like it's still manageable for me because I love using like a new palette every day. But anyways, all of that to say, I will not let it get bigger than that drawer. And if I was to purchase every ColourPop palette, I'd have like a second drawer just dedicated to their palettes. So as pretty as these are, as interesting as they look, I definitely don't need them. But if you've been wanting to try ColourPop and you prefer to shop at Ulta Beauty, it's kind of nice that they are releasing like some Ulta Beauty exclusives. And I also saw that they're bringing over some of their like permanent line. What did I see recently? Oh, the lippy sticks are on Ulta's website now. I love those. And then I think they had some of like their cream cheek products. They've just like slowly been bringing more products over, which I do think is nice. Okay, so I've never really talked about Huda Beauty in my purchase or past videos because I only purchase cruelty-free beauty products, so I typically only talk about cruelty-free brands, and I know that some people have considered Huda Beauty to be cruelty-free, but because they sold mink lashes, I personally just didn't buy from the brand. But I heard that they stopped selling mink lashes, and now they sell like faux mink lashes that I believe are completely vegan. So I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on the brand. I don't want to like open this up to drama, but I feel like I've heard that it's a little bit of a controversial brand. I don't know. I really don't follow like a lot of the drama. I try to stay informed as much as possible, but because I've never purchased from the brand, I don't know much about it. So I kind of wanted to hear your thoughts. What do you guys think? Do you think their products are worth the money? Do you like them? Are you interested? Do you have any favorites or least favorites? The reason I'm bringing it up is because they just released a new eyeshadow palette that did catch my eye. It's called the Mercury Retrograde palette, and it retails for $67. Now, like I said, I don't typically buy palettes above like that $40, $50 price tag, but I would love to hear what you guys think. This palette's available on their website, but it will be available online and in stores at Sephora on October 31st. I think it comes with some gorgeous shades. I feel like a lot of people are saying it's like a spring palette, but I also feel like brands have kind of like thrown seasonal palette themes to the wind, and like, you know, we're in October and I feel like a lot of the palettes that have been released could kind of pass as like spring or summery palettes. So I don't know that they're necessarily doing that anymore. They're kind of foregoing like those traditional seasonal colors and releasing whatever they want, which I think can be kind of fun because you never know what you're going to see next. And if you don't really follow like seasonal makeup trends, then it probably doesn't matter that much to you anyways. But I think this palette is pretty. Like the blues and the glittery shades look really gorgeous. It just looks like there are a lot of fun textures. And I feel like that's kind of what I've been into lately. I've been looking for like some interesting textures, some different formulas, and if you guys have anything to share, I would love to know. But that is one that I want to say definitely caught my eye. I don't know if I'll end up purchasing it because again, I kind of have to look into the brand and I don't know much about the quality, but I do think it is really, really pretty. So Urban Decay just released 2 new mini On the Run eyeshadow palettes. They have a few of these available already, but it kind of looks like they're expanding the collection with the G-Train palette and also Highway Queen. They do say limited edition on Sephora's website and they retail for $25 each. So they already have 3 existing palettes in this collection. And I remember trying one when they first came out and I felt like it was fine. I didn't feel like it was anything spectacular, but it was consistent with like Urban Decay's quality. Urban Decay's eyeshadow palettes haven't really intrigued me for a while, I have to be honest. They used to be one of my favorites, but I just feel like their eyeshadow palettes aren't anything super exciting for me. I feel like they're good for everyday use, but I feel like there are a lot of other brands that I love over Urban Decay these days, so I personally won't be buying these. I want a palette that I'm so excited to use that I can't put down, that just performs so well, and I feel like because there are so many new makeup releases, I don't know, I feel like brands just have to step it up to like remain on top, and I don't know, I feel like I don't want to like bash Urban Decay because I do love them. I love a lot of their products, but I just feel like their palettes just aren't doing it for me these days. So I personally will not be buying those, but if you love mini palettes or you love Urban Decay, then you might like those. So the last palette that caught my eye that I am kind of considering is from BH Cosmetics. I actually filmed a declutter video. And again, I don't know if that video is up on my channel. I feel like I'm filming my videos all out of order just because I know the holiday season's coming. It's still kind of early, but I just know it's going to be a busy time of year. So I've been trying to film videos when I can. And I think that I mentioned that BH Cosmetics doesn't typically appeal to me for some reason, but I literally saw a picture of this palette the next day, and I think it's gorgeous. This one is the Fairy Lights eyeshadow palette. It is available now at Ulta Beauty, and it comes with 20 different shades in mattes, shimmers, and glitter finishes. When I first saw the promo photos, I like scrolled right past it. I thought it was pretty, but I wasn't super interested. And then I saw this picture on the Trend Mood Instagram and I thought it was so pretty. It's so crazy to me how promo photos can look so different. It's kind of like when I saw the promo swatches for the Anastasia Carly palette and I wasn't really impressed. And then I saw the real life palette swatches and that's what pulled me in. And now I'm not loving it. But anyways, promo photos are always so different than like real life photos. So I try not to judge a palette too harshly until I see like real life photos of it. And I feel like it's so pretty. This one feels like a winter palette to me. Like I said earlier, like some brands are just kind of like foregoing traditional like color stories, but I feel like the cooler toned shimmers, the blue, and then like a few fun pops of pink. I don't know, it's really cute. I think it would be really fun for winter. And I don't know why BH Cosmetics is a brand that I haven't really used a whole lot in the past, but whenever I do try their products, which isn't very often, but when I have tried their eyeshadows in the past, they've always performed really well for me. I just feel like maybe they're kind of like ColourPop in that they release so much, so every time I turn around, there's a brand new palette, and it's just hard to keep up with what they've released, but I think it's pretty, and I think for $20, there are some gorgeous colors. I think the blues are like what's really pulling me in, and there are some cooler toned neutrals, and I don't know, I feel like I want to get into BH Cosmetics because you guys leave me so many recommendations. I hear so many good things about the brand, but I don't know, I just think it's really pretty and it could be a fun palette for winter. So Violet Voss has a new mini palette. This one is the Oh Snap Gingerbread Eyeshadow Palette. It's available now on Sephora's website and it retails for $18. So this one comes with 10 different shades. I have to say I'm kind of into the mini palettes, even though I'm not planning on buying the Urban Decay palettes or this one. I do think it's fun that brands are releasing smaller palettes. I think Too Faced did a couple for a more like affordable price point because not everybody wants to pay like $40 or $50 for a full-sized eyeshadow palette, but it's a nice way to maybe like refresh your collection without paying a ton of money. So if you love Violet Voss or you love like these gorgeous warm tone shadows with golds and brighter reddish pink tones, then it could be a fun palette. I've tried Violet Voss in the past and their shadows have always been really intense and pigmented, and they performed extremely well. So it is a brand that I would like to try again, but I just haven't found a palette that's pulled me in enough. I'm still kind of into like that flamingo palette they released a while ago. So maybe like next summer, if I'm looking for a new palette, I might end up going with that one. But I definitely have shades like this in so many palettes, so I won't be buying this one. So Shaaanxo has a new palette coming out. This one is the Heaps of Sweets eyeshadow palette. It comes out on November 1st. I believe Shaaanxo has a beauty brand. I know she has a YouTube channel. She makes really good YouTube videos. I used to watch her all the time back in the day, but it has been a while. I think her brand, I want to say she sells eyelashes, and I think this is her first eyeshadow palette, and I think it's so cute. I don't know like what it is, but I think this palette is adorable. I think it's like the name and the theme and the colors. Everything's really pretty. It's a warm toned palette with a few pops of purple. Okay, my camera just died and it cut me off, which is okay because I actually have to get going. It is like the last weekend that the pumpkin patch is open, so we're having a family night. My mom like rented a bonfire pit and we're going to hang out with my sisters and brother-in-laws and my nieces, so it will be really fun, but I think that's a sign I've been talking too much. So anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys are thinking about these palettes, if you're planning on picking anything up or not. I think out of everything that I mentioned, I'm really probably going to end up purchasing the Tati palette, but there are a couple of other ones that I think are interesting that caught my eye, so I might purchase them later down the line. Let me know what you guys think, but I'll see you guys very soon with a new video. Bye.